All right, welcome to this lab where we're going to try to explain how pricing works in Google Cloud Storage by taking an example and then showing you how to figure out the pricing step by step. Okay? So we're using the Google Cloud Pricing Calculator here as our help. And then we're going to do the same thing again, just using a spreadsheet. So when you open up the Google Cloud Pricing Calculator, you can find that there is a selection of Google Cloud products up here on the top row. And as we're interested in storage, this is the one that we're going to select, at least to start off with. And we're going to follow a detailed pricing example from the Google Cloud documentations. The URL is sitting next to this video, so you can follow from there as well if you want to. And let's start off by just adding the some multi-region storage. In standard class, multi-region US, for example. And in our example, we're using 60 TB of storage. We're not setting up any operations right now. Let's just add this directly to our estimate. And it shows us as this costing $1,597.44, which should add up because it should be 2.6 cents per gigabyte for standard storage in the multi-region region. Okay, let's add some more. Let's use a dual region, the North America one, this one, and put 30 TB into this one. It's cool. Add to estimate, and that'll cost us $1,105, right? So note that even though we're using up half the amount of storage, the actual per gigabyte price is higher for named regions, right? In the multi-region, basically Google can choose where to store the data as long as it is in at least 2 different regions. Whereas with the dual region, we're saying that it needs to be in both Iowa and South Carolina. And this makes it more expensive for us. Then let's add some nearline storage. And let's put this into multi-region as well. And let's say that we have around 100 TB over here, adding to our estimate. You see this is $1,024 as it's 1 cent per gigabyte. Cool. So now we've got the total amount of that we're costing by storage. And let's also add some operations to this. So we could add Class A operations per month. And we could have maybe 100,000 of those. This is in millions, so we need to say 0.1, right? And in Class B operations, we could have 10 million worth of. I'm going to add those to the estimate. And here you can see for standard storage, so 0.1 million Class A operations plus 10 million Class B operations altogether cost us $4.50 a month. So this is not the big spender here. Let's also add some operations for the nearline storage. And let's say that we have 1 million Class B operations. And this will add another $1 to our bill. Cool. Then we need to add some retrieval. So because if we are in nearline storage, retrieval costs, you can see over here what the data retrieval size would be. So let's say that we're out of our 100 terabytes, we'll retrieve 10 terabytes each month. Adding that to the estimate, we can see that the retrieval will cost us $102.40. So then let's add the network traffic. And I'm just adding it all at once because there is no real difference for the options. So we're going to have 25 terabytes total egress to Americas and EMEA, right? So this will be data moves. So non-Asia, non-Australia egress traffic. That's the one that we wanted. And that's going to be 25 terabytes. And then we also had to Asia Pacific. And that's going to be 25 terabytes. Add to estimate. And you can see the data costs over here, totaling up to $2,368.44. So that's one way of looking at it. Of course, we can do the same stuff by just working through a sheet. So if we just look up the prices of the individual services from the pricing page, and then add that up into our sheet, then that could do the same, have the same effect, right? So we're starting off with, we wanted to have standard storage at the multi-region. And then we could say have everything in TB bytes here. So we wanted to have 60 TB bytes, right? And now the price for this, North America, multi-region, is 2.6 cents, but this is per gigabyte. So I'm just going to put in here 0.026 times 1024, right? So this is what we get per TB byte. And then this is the total, right? So I'm going to say equals B2 times C2, 1,597.44. This should add up to the amount we had previously. Then we had standard storage at the US Dual. I should say maybe at NAM4, as that's the kind of official name. So that's this one. Standard is 3.6 cents. So, and we had 30 TB bytes there. I'm going to say 3.6, and again, times 1024. And then just copying this over. That's $1,105.92. Then we had the nearline at multi again. They had 100 of this. Quick peek what the price is. Nearline is the second column. So for US multi, that's exactly 1 cent. So this is going to be 0.01 times 1024. And this is going to be that, $1,024. Great. Then the operations, right? So class A on the standard. And here we could again say maybe I'm going to add a couple of rows in between and just add a mid header here telling us what the count is, right? So I'm going to say millions and then dollars per million. And the amount of class A operations on standard storage was 0.1 million, so 100,000. And let's take a look at what the operations cost. And we're somewhere down here. Blah, 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 blah. Here we go. And here it's per 10,000, right? So standard storage, 5 cents per 10,000 operations. Now we have 5 cents, but then we have per millions, right? So it's 10,000 times 10 is 100,000 times 100 would be a million. Okay, so this is the cost per million then. And then again, the total is going to be 50 cents. Yeah. Sometimes feels that it doesn't make a point, that there's no point in calculating the operations. However, it might very well be that the operations are your cost leader if you have a lot of them. So just kind of just make sure that you understand at least the ballpark of where your costs are. Class B operations, we had 10 million, and that is 0.4 cents per 10,000. I'm just going to write it out here. So 0.004, and then again times 100. And then this is that. Oops. $4. And then we had class B operations on nearline. And we had 1 million of those. Class B on nearline is 1 cent per 10,000. Multiply that by 100. And then that's going to add another $1 to the bill. Great. And then we had traffic. Now traffic is a little bit tricky. So in our example, we're going to have egress, so cross-continent traffic, basically to South America or Europe. So I'm just going to say, AMER and EMEA, as that's what we're seeing over here. Sorry, your network. Then we need to go to the actual egress pages, right? So because the pricings here are basically just internal. So general, not network usage. And here you can see egress to worldwide destinations, including Asia and Australia, right? So that's what we're paying for. So, and we had 25 terabytes of this. The problem here is that the first terabyte has a particular price. So let's do that first, right? So we have the first terabyte. And that cost us 12 cents per gigabyte, right? So per terabyte, that would be 12 times 1024. And then again, we multiply these together to get 122.88. But in total, we had 25 terabytes, right? So then we need to add the next 9 terabytes to get up to 10 in total. So 9. And now this has a smaller price, 11 cents. per gigabyte. So this is 11 times 1024. And then that adds up to $1,000. And then we had even more, right? So we had 25 terabytes in total. So above 10, the next are only going to be 8 cents per gigabyte. So we have 10 here already. So we have 15 more to get a total of 25 terabytes, right? Just going to copy paste that over again. And now it's 0.08 times 1024. And adding that up over here. Cool. And then we also had, so the total traffic to Americas and Europe is $2,365.44. That should add up with what we calculated previously. And then we had separately also 25 to Asia Pacific. It works the same way, right? So here we had the same stuff, egress to Asia, excluding China, but including Hong Kong. That's what we're talking about here. So it also uses 12, 11, and 8 as the prices. So now I can just basically copy paste this block over to here and just create new headings as the pricings are the same, right? Oops. And now that's it. So that should add up to the same total as we had previously. Good luck with your calculations. Note that especially the traffic part is quite tricky to do manually. So I guess there is a point in doing it here using a pricing calculator. But in my opinion, this kind of a spreadsheet gives you a better view of what your bill really will consist of. So allows you a little bit more freedom with tinkering with values. Either way you want to do it, that's of course up to you. Thanks for this, and I hope that cleared stuff up a little bit. Till later. Bye.